Hey everybody, it's Matt Powers. Welcome to my garden. Thank you so much for joining me. We're in Southern California. We're in Orange County, and I'm growing Peruvian corn. It's Piscarantu, but you probably never heard of it before because no one's grown it in North America. I figured it out. It's called, what we're calling it is purple speckled corn because it's just gorgeous. It's white and yellow with little speckles of purple on top. So it's really beautiful. It's extraordinarily rare at this point. And I just put it into the soil in this garden that I had no compost in. I had no development in. And when we see, weeds show up in a location, in an area of disturbance or degradation, it's repairing things. Weeds are a reparative mechanism. And so what's going on is these weeds are coming, they're accumulating nutrients from the soil, working with soil life, and they're dying on top, making the new topsoil. And they're calibrating to the needs of the landscape. And then what comes after a few years is weedy trees, and then nicer trees, and then we suddenly have the forest taking over, and those weeds, those things that were here, those grasses and stuff are gone. They're not here anymore. So that's called secession. And weeds are just part of that, and they're not like unwanted plants. They're really just important plants. And all plants are important, all plants have names. There really is no such thing as a weed. So looking at my garden here, we realize that corn is a grass. It's right alongside with these like weeds, right, in a sense, right? So when I cut them, they resprout back, just like the weeds. Now, what's going on? You've seen this happen. Have you ever seen, you chop the weeds instead of pull them out, and they come right back? What's going on with that? Well, what's going on is there's an explosion in the root zone, the rhizosphere, and there's these exudates that are pouring out of those roots and saying, here, to the soil economy. And the soil life, the soil economy, is responding and going, okay, here, and giving the plant what it needs to have rapid growth response. And we see this in a perennial system. Gibberellic acid is released when you chop and drop in Brazil's Ernst Scotia's site in Brazil. And the thing is, we can do this too with our sites. We can release those exudates that cause that explosion of growth. So I planted corn all close to each other, and now I chop and drop the thin guys because they're not performing well. But then as they resprout, they're sending out all those root exudates, and it's causing the other plants to get free fertilizer. Because I don't have fertilizer, I'm making the plants do the work for me. So come on in here. So we're really looking at good, better, best. And clearly right here we have height and we have thickness, right? So this is thicker than this. And then this is not tall at all, and it's thinner than both. So out of these three, this one is now going to be mulch. And we have weeds all around here. And beans too in the mix. And these weeds, you can do the same thing with. You can just turn into mulch, and they'll just keep resprouting. Right here you can see, this is a chopped corn that has resprouted. Do you see? This is just a corn that resprouted. And it's gonna just keep doing this, and I can just chop and it will resprout again. And right here is another one too. So all these things we're just causing. Oh, right here is a really good one. This one's good. So, and it's because this one's doing so well that we're cutting that one back. So back here is the same sort of thing. And I can just hold them up. I mean, you can just see. It's not even as thick as my finger, but some of these are as thick as 2 fingers. So we're causing these root exudates to be released. This is a Three Sisters garden. And it's really easy to see that there's some that are performing really well. They're really tall, they're really thick. And some that are just, they're gonna be supporters. And then some are getting wrapped up in the three, and people have this all the time and they get so upset about this. But you just simply unwrap the bean And the bean's not gonna get mad at you. You didn't cut it, you didn't do anything with it, and maybe you put it on some hard structure you have in there too, or you put it on a bigger plant. And so right here next to this is a teeny plant right here, and I'm just gonna come in here and just remove it. Yeah. And it's as easy as that. You know, we're exploring the chop and drop during the season thing beyond just chopping weeds, but also creating support species that are annuals that are designed to be mulch plants. Because not many plants we plant to be mulch plants outside of like green manure and legumes and stuff. That's usually seasonal, not during. So this is a new experiment. This is something new I'm trying. In your chop and drop experiments, observe what works best and how the plants react. And have a regenerative week. And tune in on Monday for the podcast with Brad Gates. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a throw-so tomato right here in the midst. Actually, there's several, but this one's huge. It's trying to catch up to the corn next to it, which is only twice as tall. And this is a throw-so tomato, and Brad Gates' tomatoes are the most resilient and disease resistant I know of. And it's probably because he's worked so much with them. And we're gonna hear a lot about that on Monday. So tune in on Monday to the podcast. It's on iTunes or SoundCloud. An Abundant Future with Matt Powers, me. All right, guys, have a wonderful week.